Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Behind the Grind. So, as you guys already know, recently I made a video talking about the class limitation in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2, and I didn't think about this when I was making that video. However, somebody left a pretty interesting comment on that video, and it got me to think about one thing, and that's going to be that the Techmarine coming soon to Space Marine 2 is going to be disastrous for the game, and it might even break it. As you guys already know, class limitation in Space Marine 2 is a highly debated topic because the game really only allows one player to use a class at a time when playing PvE. Now, obviously in PvP, two players can use the same class at the same time. However, nobody really plays PvP. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and talk about why the Techmarine release will be disastrous to the game and what Saber can do in order to prevent this from becoming a problem. So, as you guys already know, the Techmarine will thankfully be free, unlike Darktide's ARGBs. However, Darktide does not have a class limit. It's nice that we don't have to pay for the Techmarine. However, we don't have a class limit in Space Marine 2, so I think you guys can see where I'm going with this. So, PvE only allows for 1 out of 3 players to use a specific class. Now, once the Techmarine comes to Space Marine 2, that means that everybody is going to spam the Techmarine. In my personal opinion, this will completely ruin PvE, as players will quit a lobby if someone is already using the Techmarine, or be kicked out of the lobby if they are the ones using the Techmarine. As you guys already know, in PvE, it's pretty annoying when you drop into a match and somebody is already using your class. Now, I know a while ago that the developers implemented a system that will prevent you from matchmaking with players that are already using your class. However, like I said before, because of the fact that the Techmarine is going to be a free class available to absolutely everybody who plays Space Marine 2, that just means that everybody is going to be hogging this class, and the Techmarine spam is going to be insane. Only allowing one player at a time to use this class for every PvE match is just going to result in people loading up into a lobby, seeing that somebody is already using the Techmarine, and then backing out of that match and matchmaking again in order to find another lobby. And if you just so happen to be in a lobby in which you are the one who is already using the Techmarine, and somebody else wants to use that class, well, say goodbye, because your ass is getting kicked from that match. And this is mostly a PvE issue. Like I mentioned before, PvP also kind of has this problem to an extent. However, PvP at least allows for 4 players a match to use the Techmarine, but at the end of the day, nobody's really playing PvP like that. So I mean, if players want to try out the Techmarine and stuff, like, they're either gonna have to get very lucky with a PvE match, or they're just gonna have to play PvP in the time being. Like I said before, man, everybody's just gonna be hogging this new class. With that, the Techmarine is obviously the only class that 90% of the player base doesn't have prestiged yet. So if that's not an incentive already to hog the new class, good luck finding a lobby without somebody that is just constantly spamming the same class over and over and over for consecutive matches because, well, they're leveling up the new class. The Techmarine is the only new thing to really switch up the gameplay in a meaningful way since the day that the game released. We've had maps, we've had new operations, new weapons, class reworks, prestige mode, etc., etc. However, the Techmarine is the only new true thing to, quite frankly, switch up all aspects of the game. Sure, we got siege mode, but siege mode is contained to its own thing, and we're getting Hellbrute Assault pretty soon here. However, the Techmarine will be usable in all the different game modes, and I don't know about you guys, I'm just going to want to be spamming the Techmarine. I'm going to be that guy who's just gonna hog the class. As soon as I get my hands on it, I'm not letting go, because I want to play the Techmarine, and so does everybody else in the community. So I don't blame them for wanting to spam the Techmarine and to just be using this class over and over, but Saber's really running into a big issue here, which is restricting players to 1 Techmarine per match. In my opinion, the class limits need to be addressed before this thing comes out, and quite frankly, I don't really see a situation in which this is figured out in any other way than simply removing the class limits. The only way to fix this is to remove the class limits. Obviously, they're not gonna monetize the Techmarine, because obviously that would cause for major backlash across the community. However, when everybody wants to play and test a new thing, you might as well allow them to do that. We saw this in Darktide. Once the ARGBs came out, everybody was using the new class, but like I already said, Darktide does not have class limitation. So this is an issue in which the only solution is to remove the class limits. If you have any other suggestions or ideas as to how Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 could fix this incoming issue, by all means go ahead and let me know in the comments section down below. If they're not going to remove it for operations, at least remove the class limits for siege mode. Increase the player count from 3 to 4 in siege mode, so that way once the Techmarine comes out, everybody can have a chance to use this new class, or else nobody's going to be able to use this new class. So that's why, in my personal opinion, I believe that the Techmarine patch will be disastrous for Space Marine 2. We have some fixes that need to be addressed. This issue needs to be talked about more. I never even thought about this until that one guy came to my comment section and brought this up, and I was like, holy shit, this is actually a pretty big problem that's going to be a thing in the next months soon to come whenever Techmarine releases to the game. So that's pretty much it for today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe if you are not already. Also, if you wish to support the channel further, I'd encourage you to join the channel membership for exclusive perks. I'm so grateful for all the members, and your generosity is extremely appreciated. Thanks. This has been Behind the Grind, talking about how the Techmarine is going to absolutely break the PvE in Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!